Hello lovely YouTube people. So as promised, after much faffing around, one new video that's actually a recipe video this evening. Yay, recipe video! So what am I making? Well, the plan is to make something called a herbed lentil bowl. This recipe is by Deliciously Ella, going back to an old favourite this evening. I make this quite a lot. It's really easy and you don't need anything particularly fancy, which is part of why I love it. So I thought I would share it with you this evening. So as I say, credit to Deliciously Deliciously Ella, because it is her recipe. It's out of this book here. Ta-da! Deliciously Ella Every Day. You would have seen me reference this lots of times. I love this book. It's awesome and it's really good for newbie vegans. So in the recipe we have green lentils. Now you can use pui lentils, but green lentils are the same thing. They just come from a different area. So I'm using green lentils. My guinea pigs are looking very interested at me. Not for you, it's for me, my dinner. So, we will also need 1 tin of tomatoes, some tomato puree, some dried herbs. Now I'm using oregano, there we are, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. And then some garlic. Not in the net, preferably. 2 cloves of garlic I'm going to need. 1 carrot. Now the recipe says 12 cherry tomatoes. Well, guess what? I don't have any. So, because I like sweet corn, I'm going to put some sweet corn in it to change it up a little bit. So yeah, those are the ingredients. I am going to do some preparation and I will come back to you shortly. I forgot 2 rather important ingredients. Now then. Some salad potatoes, and according to the recipe, I'm not doing very well with my words tonight. According to the recipe, half the juice of a lemon, but we have no lemon, but we have a lime. So changing it up, I'm going to use a lime because I have no lemon juice. I really need to go shopping, so this is kind of a end of the month store cupboard using up what I've got recipe and hoping that it works, but fingers crossed. So yes, I will be back shortly. Okay, so the first step is to put 80 grams of green or pui lentils into a saucepan. You are going to need a big saucepan, so they go in there like so. Then you add, hang on, 1 can of tomatoes, which I'm going to need to open because I haven't done it yet. And also to that, where's my tin opener? Never find the tin opener when you want it. So you need 80 grams of lentils, 400 gram can of tin tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, 2 cloves of garlic and some dried herbs. You put that all in the saucepan together and then we will go from there. Okay, so once you've added your pui lentils, your tin of tomatoes, your tomato puree, your herbs and your garlic, which I haven't done yet, to the pan, you need to add 600 millilitres of water. Stir it all together and stick it on a high heat with a lid on it. Bring it to the boil and then reduce it to a simmer. And then I will tell you the next step momentarily. Okay, so the recipe then says the next step is to add your 12 cherry tomatoes, which you would have sliced up into quarters if you're using them, into the pan. Now, as I said earlier, I don't have any cherry tomatoes. So, I'm going to be adding sweet corn as an extra vegetable, and because I really like sweet corn, it goes in pretty much everything I make, but you can feel free to use any vegetable at this point. Then I'm going to add 15 baby potatoes like these to the pan. I'm just going to cut them in half and add them in. You're then going to leave the stew kind of thing to cook for about 50 minutes, and then whilst that's cooking you need to grate your 1 carrot because you'll be adding that later, and then once the liquid has been absorbed and the potatoes are soft, you can add in the carrots. Make sure that the lentils are cooked, and when it's all ready you just put the lime or lemon juice, depending on which you're using, on the top. Let it all cook together and you can serve it with crusty bread. You can serve it with, what else you'd want with it? Crusty bread, or I suppose salad. You could probably have salad with it if you wanted to, or maybe some wedges. No, there's potatoes in it already. Scrub the wedges. You don't want 2 lots of potato. That might be a bit overboard. But trust me, a bowl of this, particularly on a bit of a long day when you're a bit tired, it's really comforting. It tastes amazing and it's really, really lovely. And you know what? It's dead easy to make. It's really cheap. You don't need any fancy ingredients, which is what I love about it. And it's just really, really nice. So yeah, I am going to add the rest of the ingredients now and I will show you the final product when it is ready. Okay, so tell a lie, it's not ready yet, but I thought you might like to see what it looks like part way. So I have just chopped up, all my potatoes ready to go in the pan. As you see, my carrots ready to be grated. So take the lid off the pan. This is starting to boil, so I'm just going to give it a little stir. That's better, you can see me now, hi. Yes. So this is what the pan looks like at the moment. There we are. It's got the tomatoes, the lentils, you can see the herbs in there. It's got sweet corn in there. Just give that a little stir. Then, not quite boiling yet, it's almost there. I'm going to add this little lot, like so. Now then, try and hold the camera whilst I do this with one hand. This will be interesting. This is where the potatoes go everywhere. I'm going to do this with my hands rather than try and pick them up. So they're just in bits. And as you can see, there's the pan. I'm just going to pop them in. Nice and gently. Dead easy. Honestly, this is so easy to make. Anybody could do it. And it's one to possibly even make with your children if you want to. It's something that they can get involved with. Because it is dead simple. There isn't a lot of chopping involved. And it tastes really good. I've made it before, I remember. So yeah, that's the potatoes in. I'm just going to pop the lid back on, bring it up to the boil. Did you see that? There we are. Bring that up to the boil and then reduce it and simmer it for 50 minutes. Let me just put this camera down. Hang on. Sorry, hand in the camera. Ta-da! Right, I'm now going to grate the carrot. And little tip for you, if you roll your lime on a hard surface before you cut it, you get more juice out of it, apparently. This is a little trick I've picked up. I find it works. So yeah, little tip, to get the most out of your lime, roll it on a hard surface before you cut it and then squeeze it. So yeah, so far so good. So looking forward to that and I will show you it when it's ready. So, don't quite know what's happening to the lighting in here, but my stew is now complete. It looks like this. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm just going to serve some of that on its own. I'm not going to have it with bread or anything because too many carbs. And I've already had like bad food today. My lighting's gone really weird. Sorry guys, I don't know why it's gone so dark in here. But yeah, so that's my herb lentil bowl. Completely vegan, cruelty free, really easy to make. So I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up below or feel so free to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.